Hello, Carolina.
Hello, Vinny.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. Adolfo, Caroline. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I guess
Hello. Hi, Caroline. How are you?
we are already live, guys. Yeah, we're gonna just wait for 4:30 to officially start the event. But yeah, we are not in the pre-event mode, so we are already live. Participants can already watch us. Okay.
Great.
Okay. So welcome you all who's coming in to participate of our event. In a couple of minutes, we might be live on Facebook as well. So I guess we're waiting for Monica from Sheridan College to go live.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Caroline. Welcome. Now you're on mute.
Sorry, just had an
No
issue with the
problem.
internet cord.
All right, so just a quick briefing. Myself and Adolfo will be introducing Australian Center in a few minutes, and then each institution shall have about 20 minutes to present. It's a scholarship opportunities, and at the end of this event, we might have a few more minutes to answer questions that people may have. Okay, so stay with us. We're gonna shortly start the event. And we are also live on Facebook. So the event actually starts at 4:30. So we have another 8 minutes to go before we officially started. Let's just wait for a few other participants to join us. And yeah, we certainly start. Adolfo, you can hear me well on your side of the room? Yeah?
Yes, I can hear you, Vinny.
Okay. Adolfo, do you know any good joke in Spanish?
Not really. I'm very bad
No?
at jokes.
Yeah. E você, João, conhece alguma uma piada boa em espanhol, não?
Em espanhol, cara, meu espanhol tá bem enferrujado. Eu tava falando com o Adolfo. Ele tava, acho que, fingindo que tava entendendo para ser educado. Mas
Porque
espanhol
como ele
mesmo.
fala português, a gente sempre acha que o nosso espanhol é bom quando a gente fala com ele, né?
Exatamente, exatamente, cara. Mas na verdade, né, ele deve dar risada no fundo aí, né, Adolfo?
Bom, tá aí uma boa piada em espanhol, né? A gente tentando falar, né?
Já é uma piada, né, cara? Só a gente
É.
tentar já é uma piada. Que bacana.
Caroline, I was asking Adolfo to tell us a joke in Spanish.
I wish I could understand because I would have no
Yeah,
idea what
yeah.
you're saying.
And
Uh,
he said, no, I don't really know any good joke in Spanish. And we just realized that myself and Joan trying to speak Spanish is a joke by itself, you know,
oh,
because our Spanish it's not that good, I guess, right, Joan?
No, not at all, man. Not at all. But yeah, at least we try.
Caroline, do you know like every Brazilian thinks they speak Spanish, and
oh,
like
really?
we just change the end of the words, and
Yeah.
we think we can speak it, but yeah, in reality, it's not brilliant.
Oh,
And people like Adolfo, when they are nice like him, they pretend that they understand as well and say, oh yeah, they laugh and make us feel good. But in reality, he's probably not really getting it.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. So
So
we have a few
we
more
are
minutes to
waiting
go.
for Sheridan and
We're
the
waiting
job
for
is
Sheridan.
starting.
The event officially starts at 4:30, so we might wait for another
Oh
5 minutes.
yeah.
Well, while we don't start officially, maybe we just go. We can just talk a little bit about your personal experiences, João. How did you end up in Australia?
Well, that was interesting experience. I lived in US for 2 years, and I end up going back to Brazil to finish my university. And I really didn't get adjusted to the way the Brazilian system was working at the time. And yeah, I decided to go to another English-speaking country, and I had a opportunity to go to either England or yeah, England or Ireland or Australia. So I guess I chose in Australia, and I don't regret. So yeah, that was back in 2007.
All right.
So when
Okay.
I came in the student visa, is most of all the people most of the Brazilians. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's how I end up here, and then I fall in love. So I just uh, think that the Australian the most beautiful place and one of the nicest country that we can choose to live.
Yeah.
So I guess we are very lucky to be here.
And Caroline, you're originally from Perth?
yeah. So both of my parents are from South Africa, but I
Yeah.
was born here in Perth. So I'm Australian born and bred.
Lovely.
But it's amazing how multicultural Australia is. Got so many different nationalities working here. So
Yeah.
really cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Quite a few South Africans here in Perth as well, right?
So many. Yeah, it's like the second South Africa.
Yeah.
But I've traveled over to Brazil, Colombia, and Peru, Uruguay, and Argentina. So
Okay.
definitely
So which
another.
city in Brazil have you been?
So I flew into Rio and then went to Ilha Grande, that little island off the coast.
Right. Okay.
Then went to Parachi. I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly. And
Yeah.
then we went down to sort of the place where you cross to go to, I think, Uruguay, or unless I'm getting it confused. But yeah, it was this beautiful beachfront place we ended up in, and then went across to Uruguay, which is amazing. You'd never hear of Uruguay.
Yeah.
And then down to Argentina. So
Lovely.
yeah,
Lovely.
it's an awesome
Yes.
place to go. When was the last time you guys went back to Brazil?
Well, I just arrived in Perth a few months ago, just prior to the COVID.
Coronavirus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's lucky to get here before all that thing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be in Perth. It's been quite lucky here, isn't it?
We're so lucky here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, that's right. Okay, but yeah, I'm glad you have been to Brazil and to some special places there. Ilha Grande, wow, very nice.
I know, it's beautiful.
Lovely. So we got another 2 minutes to go before we officially start, and Monica is here. Welcome, Monica.
Hi.
You are live on Instagram, on Facebook, and also for everyone that is following us on the webinar link.
Hello. Sorry about that. Hello.
No worries. You're welcome. Welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got another 1 minute to go before we officially start. We're just chatting here, you know. Maybe what we could ask, you know, we have few people already watching us. So if you guys want to start to post some questions for our panelists, feel free to do so. Some of those questions will be answered during the event, during like our talks. And some others we might leave to the end to answer, okay? But feel free to interact with us. It would be lovely to see your questions and interact with you guys, okay? So it's now 4:30 and we can officially start our event. Once again, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the final stage of our Perth Scholarship Trilogy. Okay, my name is Vinicius Barreto, and I work for Australian Centre. This event today will be a trilingual event. I'm going to introduce AC in Portuguese, and then I will pass on to my colleague Adolfo, who will welcome you in Spanish. And then we will talk to Southern Cross University about scholarship options. Obviously, we'll talk with EEIT, which is a school specialized in engineering. And obviously, they also have some scholarship opportunities. And last but not least, we're going to be talking with Monica from Sheridan College. And we will be very glad to hear, you know, what are the opportunities you have for international students. Okay, so let me just launch my presentation here. Share my screen with you guys, and off we go. I guess in a couple of seconds you'll be able to see my screen. I hope you do. Voila, and here we go. So lovely. And I have just shut down. What's happening? I'm back. Okay. 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 So let's start. Let me just start introducing AC, and I will do that in Portuguese, ok? Então, boa tarde a todos, sejam muito bem-vindos, é um prazer tê-los aqui conosco. Meu nome é Vinícius, eu sou um dos sócios aqui da Australian Centre, e a AC é uma agência para estudantes internacionais que vem atuando nesse setor há quase 20 anos, né, desde 2002. Já recebeu vários prêmios aí de qualidade, tanto de universidades quanto de colégios, de diferentes instituições, mostrando aí que a equipe da Australian Centre há muito tempo está sempre dedicada ao sucesso de vocês aí que são estudantes internacionais e buscam por uma jornada de sucesso aqui nesse incrível país que é a Austrália, tá bom? Entre os nossos serviços estão o auxílio na matrícula de universidades e colleges, né? Nós temos parcerias com centenas de instituições de ensino na Austrália. Oferecemos também todo o suporte relacionado à obtenção de bolsas de estudo, assim como suporte na solicitação para o visto de estudante. Além disso, também oferecemos o que chamamos de Student Success Support, que é um suporte completo que inicia numa apresentação de boas-vindas para as pessoas que estão recém-chegando no país, mas também passa por questões importantes para quem está buscando o primeiro trabalho. Por exemplo, obtenção do Tax File Number, abertura de conta bancária, obtenção de certificações relacionadas aos trabalhos mais voltados à hospitality, que é um trabalho mais comum para quem está chegando aqui, e também toda a orientação acadêmica e orientação sobre carreira para os que estão recém-chegados. Um pouco mais adiante, no momento um pouco mais avançado da sua estadia aqui no país, a Australian Center oferece o que nós chamamos de Professional Trailhead, que é um acompanhamento para as pessoas que buscam ocupações mais qualificadas. E nesse programa, a gente tem um auxílio na preparação de um currículo profissional, ajustes na sua página no LinkedIn, preparação de uma cover letter para você aplicar para alguns empregos, encontros com profissionais da sua área de atuação e algumas oportunidades de estágio. E por último, mas também muito importante, nós temos um suporte para quem busca imigrar aqui para a Austrália. Então, eu diria que esse serviço é dividido em 3 etapas, né? Uma avaliação da sua situação atual, um plano de imigração, e se você já tiver chances de solicitar um visto, toda a parte de gestão do seu caso. Se combinados esses serviços e se fossem cobrados, poderiam custar mais de $3.250, mas para quem é cliente da Australian Center, isso é oferecido gratuitamente. A Australian Center, ela tem 4 escritórios na Austrália, um em Melbourne, um em Brisbane, um em Sydney, e obviamente estamos aqui, de onde estamos falando, do nosso escritório de Perth, aqui na Hay Street. Fiquem à vontade para, de repente, fazer um print screen dessa tela e entrar em contato conosco. A próxima etapa, depois dessa conversa, seria uma reunião com os nossos consultores para a gente entender qual é essa situação que você precisa e como que a gente pode te ajudar. Então, com isso, eu passo a palavra para o Adolfo, que vai fazer essa apresentação em espanhol. Adolfo, bienvenido.
Gracias, Vini. Sean todos bienvenidos el día de hoy a nuestro evento de University Scholarships. Me gustaría comenzar por comentando que Australian Center es una compañía de intercambio presente en el mercado hace más de 20 años y que orgullosamente hemos ganado múltiples premios por parte de las universidades e instituciones aquí en Australia. En cuanto a nuestros servicios, están divididos en 4. El primer pilar son las aplicaciones gratis para cursos en cientos de universidades, apoyo para buscar las mejores opciones de becas y en el proceso de aplicación de tu visa de estudiante. Todo esto totalmente gratis. Tenemos el soporte de Student Success, que es prácticamente un acompañamiento y todo el apoyo que necesitas aquí en Australia. Tenemos un programa de trabajo, planeamiento académico de carrera para conseguir tus metas y objetivos. El tercer pilar es el Professional Trailhead, que es un programa para ayudarte en tus objetivos profesionales. Tenemos ajuste de LinkedIn, Professional CV, Cover Letter y Networking Events. Y como última parte, tenemos la asociación con nuestro agente de migración. Damos el soporte migratorio, evaluamos tu situación en específico y creamos un plan de migración. Si colocáramos todo esto en términos financieros, estos servicios nos darían un total de aproximado de 3.250 que estamos felices de ofrecer gratis a nuestros clientes. Por último, nuestras oficinas en Australia las puedes ver aquí. Si estás en otra ciudad diferente a nuestras oficinas, puedes contactar a la oficina más cercana para poder ayudarte en tus próximos pasos aquí en Australia. Gracias, Vini.
Okay, muchas gracias, Adolfo. And now I would like to invite Caroline to share some information about the Engineering Institute of Technology and its scholarship opportunities. Caroline, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me and for organizing this. It's such a great initiative. Can I share my screen?
Yes.
All right, brilliant. I'm just going to put over share screen. All right. Tell me if you guys can see.
Yes, we can
this.
see your screen and your beautiful slides.
Perfect. I'm just going to put it up. All right. Awesome. So I am going to talk to you briefly about who we are, and then I'll focus on our scholarships that we've got available to students. So basically, I work at the Engineering Institute of Technology. We're one of the only institutes in the world specialising in engineering. So we're very unique in that we offer professional development courses all the way through to a PhD of engineering. In Australia, we've got 2 campuses. So we've got our Melbourne and Perth campus. You can see here the programs that we offer on campus for students. Our main campus is in Perth. So we're actually just down the road, or actually right next door to Curtin University. So we're in an awesome student hub. We've got the main engineering fields, which is electrical, mechanical and civil engineering. And we've got our specialty course, which is industrial automation engineering. So industrial automation is basically all about automating things and making things more efficient and cost effective. So you will notice that that's going to be an up and coming field with many, many job opportunities for students. So I'll get into the specifics. We've got our mid-year intake coming up, so the 13th of July, and I'll speak to you briefly about the scholarships we've got available for the July intake, but I will focus on our future intakes, which is in 2021. So we've got February and July every year. We do offer students the opportunity, if they want, to study our programs online, so they can do that anywhere in the world. However, I think the majority of viewers today will be interested in the on-campus mode of delivery. This is our campus in Perth, and then this is our campus over in Melbourne, so right in the centre of Melbourne City. So our scholarships. So our scholarships range from, I've just actually taken a screenshot from our website. So the top one here, the ISAM scholarship, that is a 35% reduction off your full tuition fees. So you can either apply for the bachelor's with that scholarship or the master program. We're looking at a student with in the top tier, so academically they'll have to be about 75% or above in their academic marks. And then it rolls down, so you can see our Women in Engineering scholarship. We will actually provide $5,000 back at the end of every year to a female student studying with us, which is awesome. We've got our Melbourne campus scholarship, which I'm going to talk to you briefly in a moment, so we'll skip over that one. We've got our Richard E. Morley Industrial Automation Scholarship, and that's a really, really special one. It's only available for our automation engineering programs, so our bachelor's and our master's in industrial automation, and that's a 20% discount off the full tuition fees, which is also massive. And then finally, we've got our Dean Scholarship, which is a little bit lower. It's a 10% reduction off the full tuition fees. And then finally, we've got our relocation grant. So the relocation grant can actually be used in combination with one of the academic scholarships, which I've just run over. The relocation grant is simply EEIT will actually help fund the students' airfare, depending where they're located. Obviously, if they're here in Perth and they're coming to study with us in Perth, it won't be applicable to them. But if they're over in, I don't know, Sydney, wanting to come and study in Perth, that would be an awesome grant to look at applying for, in addition to one of the academic scholarships. So back to the Melbourne campus scholarship, I'm actually just going to go to the next page. For our July intake, we've got a $1,000 bursary, which we're giving to any student starting their studies for our July intake. So basically that will just be a reduction off your first semester. And then we've also got our Melbourne campus scholarship, which is we've just moved to a new campus in the centre of Melbourne City. So we've giving an automatic 10% off the first year of tuition fees. Something really, really important about EIT is we're one of the most affordable engineering degrees in Australia. So our fees are already lower than other engineering degrees being offered, and we're still accredited by the same body. So we're all accredited through the Australian government, just like a university. So that is also very, very important to know. I'm just going to run through this because I've already gone over this, so hopefully these slides will be sent out afterwards. But yeah, you can see the biggest scholarship, which is 35% off. And then the Women in Engineering, which I've just spoken about as well, which is a $5,000 back at the end of every year of your study. So if you study our Masters of Industrial Automation, you could be getting $10,000 back into your bank account by the end of your studies. A Richard Morley one, which I've also just spoken about, which is the 20% off the overall tuition fees. And then finally our Dean Scholarship, which is the 35%, oh sorry, that is incorrect. It's 10% reduction on your overall tuition fees. And then finally, we've got our current student scholarship. So if a student wasn't successful in getting one of our future student scholarships, you've got an opportunity at the end of every semester to apply for one of these current student scholarships. And it's very similar to our future student scholarships. It ranges from 35% off the following semester in your tuition fees, all the way down to 10% off in your tuition fees. So it's a really good opportunity for students if they, for some reason, don't meet the requirements for one of the future student scholarships. You can still be applying at the end of every semester. And we look at the students' academics and attendance to class, and it's, yeah, a very nice incentive to do really, really well during semester. I wish they had that when I was at university. And then finally, I just wanted to put up here, we've got one of our Colombian master degree students who is actually going to be featured on our webinar next week. So I will be sending through the details to Australian Centre as well to send through to anyone if they are interested in learning a little bit more about feedback from students who are actually studying with EIT. And that's probably the main information about our scholarships. I hope I am within the time. I think I've gone probably a little bit more quickly than what I should have. But please, Adolfo, if you've got any questions for me, please feel free to ask.
Lovely. No, that's great. Thank you so much, Caroline. And tell me something. I do have a question for you.
Yes.
So with your scholarships, would you assess the students based on the application, or do they have to go through a specific application for the scholarships itself?
Yeah, very, very good question. So basically those two really special, one scholarship and one bursary, these ones that I've just gone over, which is for the mid-year intake, these will be automatically awarded. So if anyone applies for our Perth campus for July, it'll be automatically awarded, and same with our Melbourne campus scholarship for the mid-year intake. With the other scholarships, which you'll see on this page here, except for this Melbourne campus one, a student will actually have to formally apply. It's really, really simple. It's just a little application form, and you as the agent can obviously help them complete it. They just need to indicate which scholarship and then put it in with their application, and we will notify the student within 2 working days, because that's our turnaround time for our letter of offers, whether or not they've been successful. If they aren't successful, say for example the ISEM scholarship, then I would say try apply for the Richard E. Morley, so they can apply for as many as they want. However, they can't get all of them together. But yeah, it's a really, really simple and straightforward process.
Yeah, and so let's just concentrate this stage on the more generous scholarship. So what would be the criteria that you guys evaluate for the 30% scholarship?
Yep, I'll bring that up right now. So this 35% scholarship, you can see in the eligibility criteria here. Looks very complicated, but basically you can see at the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 5 in the middle here, if the student's applying for our master degree, we need to see that the student's got an average of 75% in their bachelor degree. So you can see it's quite high. But obviously it's a massive discount off the full tuition fees. If they were entering into our bachelor degree, they would only need to see, they would need to see a 75% average in their grade 12 or the diploma that they've completed to enter into our bachelor degree. So those are the two main things that we look at. And then also they have to meet our English requirement. So if they are already studying here in Australia, I would hope that, I'm sure they would be meeting the English requirement when they are looking at coming to do a master degree or bachelor degree.
And well, we have come across students which they have not performed so well during their bachelor degrees, but then they went on and finished some postgraduate studies, and let's say something that would be equivalent to a graduate diploma in Australia, and in that specific program they did really, really well. So can they use their last graduate diploma or the last postgraduate studies to apply for the scholarship, or will always be take into consideration their bachelor degrees?
Yeah, you have put me on the spot, but I think we would look at their graduate diploma. I think we would look at that and consider the marks that they did in that, because obviously they're a very, very good student if they've got a high percentage. So yeah, definitely. And with EIT we're very different to the universities, because we're much smaller. We're such a specialized provider, so we take every single case case by case. So we'll always look at every bit about the student.
All right. Okay, lovely. Okay, Caroline, we might have some questions for you at the end of the presentation.
No problem.
I will invite João to teach us a little bit more about the options he has to offer at Southern Cross University.
Hello, Vinicius. Hello, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity and to be participating in this great event. Vini, do you want me to present in Portuguese or English, or sorry, Spanish? It will be a bit difficult. But
well, all right. Okay, let me just double check here. We have about 20 people participating of this event, and let me just ask them: is there anyone that is participating that do not speak Portuguese? So, and then we decide which language one should start his presentation. Okay, so if you guys can just write something. I don't speak Portuguese. Right. Okay, so in that case, we're gonna be doing.
Jason, it's a pleasure. Okay, do you want me to share my screen as well, or you guys want to do it? I can share.
I think it's better you to share. If you have any issue, I have your presentation here on me, so I can I will do it. But I think you can do on your end.
All right, cool. Let me know if you can see my screen.
We can see it partially though. Like if you wanna put on presentation mode, Zoom. Good.
Yeah, hold on a second. It will probably get there. All right.
Yes, beautiful, excellent.
Yep.
Cool,
guys. I'll jump this slide. It's just pretty much a major announcements for the latest updates for Southern Cross University. But because most of the people are from Perth, or some of the people in Perth haven't heard about Southern Cross University before, we're new to Perth. We opened in 2017 November, almost 3 years. We do have 6 campuses across Australia. The majority of the campuses are in the eastern states: Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, Gold Coast, Lismore, and Coffs Harbour. But the Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth campuses are dedicated only for international students. Okay, I will talk a little bit more about this in a second. Just for you guys to be informed, if you guys are planning to start in session 2 in July, we'll be online until maybe November or March. A good news for students who need to sit for IELTS or PTE, we are accepting an English test called Duolingo. We understand a lot of people really cannot sit for the IELTS because of the pandemic, and this Duolingo test, it's only 1 hour and can be done online, and it costs around $49 American. So we have quite flexible to accept Duolingo as a trial test into the next few intakes. All right, I will just jump to the most important part, which is the scholarship and a bit of the service that we offer. Recently, Southern Cross University was considered #1 university in terms of international student support. The rank was given to us in 2018 by International Student Barometer. Reason being is because, look, it has a lot to do with the dedication that we do to international students in our international campus. Let's say if you, different than the big universities in Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth, our campus are only for international. We're going to look at a small international environment where pretty much the students will be known by the first name. So let's say, for example, we have around 300 students in Perth. So we know pretty much all the students. And what we want to give to the students, and besides the good qualification, the well-recognized Australian qualification, we want to give to international students an opportunity for an internship as well. And I asked, I think, you guys in Australian Centre to do a bit of a briefing on the Career Edge program, which is an internship opportunity only for international students. So yeah, coming back to the #1 in international student support, it's some of the offer that I would like to highlight is the Career Counselor, which is similar to Australian Centre does well. We have one person on site just to help the students to pretty much put on the right path, and they bring people from the industry to do a speech and to integrate to the students, and to, you know, most of those people who comes from companies, they bring international students or people who are doing internships to talk to the students and to do this network. So the career counselor, it's an important key player in our university, and we really, because at the end of the day, we know that the students want to get a qualification and they want to find a job. So we encourage the students from for day one to approach and use those services, especially when you consider a small university. Well, we're not small, but we are small in Perth, in Sydney, Melbourne. So that means use those services because it's very valuable, and then you can take advantage of it. And the other service that I would like to highlight is the Career Edge program, which is designed to prepare students for the Australian workforce. It's pretty much an internship preparation program. It goes, if the student is studying a bachelor degree, it goes from year 1 to year 3. Okay, so to quickly explain how the internship program works is the university has a partnership with a company called Ready Graduate Australia, which has the contact with over 4,000 companies across Australia to accept international students for the internship placements. So, but what we do together is we prepare the students for the internship. So on year 1, the students will be pretty much developing the soft skills. They'll be working a lot on the personal branding and how to find a job in Australia, and pretty much a preparation and a communication part of it. How do they going to present to a job interview, and how pretty much preparing them to be a team player, a communicator, a leader. So it's a initial stage. The students need to complete pretty much few workshops and online modules to be able to get the 10 to 12 internship by the end of the course. So year 1, introduction. Year 2, it's the in-company projects. That's when a mentor comes from a company to give it a real scenario, a business problem for the students, a real problem for the students who are organizing group, and they need to come up with a solution. If they study IT, they will be facing an IT problem. If they work in accounting, the same. And year 3 would be the internship placement. If you're doing a master's course, that whole program will be compressed in 2 years. I'm not going to spend too much of time. This is a free service that we just help the student to after they get the qualification, have an opportunity to get an internship and start their career, and they won't cost you anything. The only thing that the students need to do is dedicate their time, because this is extra curriculum. It's not part of any unit. This is only an additional bonus for students, and you won't cost them anything. In terms of scholarship opportunity, we do have now opened a 25% scholarship for the whole duration of the course, which is great, and it's a good deduction, and it's a straightforward scholarship. First year, the students will receive 25% discount. On the second year, the scholarship will be renewed. They only need to follow a few conditions, which is pretty basic conditions. Just follow your study plan. Just, keep on paying your fee on time, have a good academic standard, GPA of 3.5. So which is pretty much out of 7. So which is pretty much easy to achieve.
Just passing a subject, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah, the student is still allowed to fail, because the pass mark is, if the student has a GPA of 4, they'll be within a pass mark. Mm-hmm. The students with a GPA of 3.5, that means they studied 3 units, they pass 2 and they failed 1, but they passed 2 with good marks, so they balance the score, the GPA to around 3.5. All right, so we don't want to punish the students. We just want to give them an opportunity. But we understand that sometimes the students may fail 1 unit or 2. So, it's but on the first year it's unconditional, and it's pretty much a very good saving. If the students are doing 3 years undergraduate course, a bachelor course, they're saving $22,000. If they're doing a 2 years master's course, they're saving $16,000. So, and that discount is applied before the student enrolled. And another thing that I want to say about us and how we apply the scholarship, I'm just going to jump to this slide and I'll quickly explain how it works. We work different than a lot of universities. We work in trimester model. So trimester model has some benefits. It's a bit more flexible to balance your work and study. You have more time to focus on a specific unit. Instead of taking 4 units, you're taking 2 units per trimester, or 3 or 2 units, not 4. So it gives a bit of flexibility to work and study. It gives a bit of lower payment at one go. So because at university you pay per unit that you enroll. So and also they give you more time to focus on the specific units. So if you think about it, you're studying 2 units, you only have 2 assessments. More likely, you can dedicate maximum for those 2 units and you pass the units. So instead of you worrying about doing 4 units. So that model works quite well for international students. We noticed that we have very positive outcome, and at least our students prefer to work in that model. And just an explanation of the fee, how would the fee would look like for a master's program. If the student has, if the students are enrolled in 3 units, again, they can be enrolled in 3 or 2 units, as long as they make 8 units per year. Okay, session 1 is March, session 2 is July, session 3 is November. So the next intake is in July. Let's say the students start with 3 units. They will be paying $9,112 for those 3 units. Next intake in November, they will study 2 units. They will pay $6,075 for the 2 units. So that gives you a bit of an idea. So it gives a bit of a flexibility as well on a payment as well. So you don't have to come up with 12 grand in one go, and so this model is quite interesting. I'll just quickly talk about the cost, because the scholarship is pretty much 25% and work from onshore, and it's a discount that's applied. It's not, we don't have strong conditions that the students need to be a higher tip. For this scholarship, it's pretty much straightforward. You apply for July or November intake, or even on March 2021, the scholarship will be applied automatically. And the courses that we offer in Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth, the international campuses, we started for postgraduate qualifying program. So for this course, it's interesting for the students who has completed so a bachelor or offshore. There's no equivalent to a bachelor in Australia, or incompleted bachelor offshore. There's no equivalent to a full bachelor in Australia. If you complete 3 years or 4 years of a bachelor degree, but you didn't complete the full degree, you can apply for the postgraduate qualifying program. This can lead to it's a pathway to any of our MBA or sorry, any of our master's degree. It could be an MBA, could be professional accounting, information technology, or engineering management.
So would that be,
in terms,
1 year extra for the students to study, or he will get some credits towards his master?
It does, yeah. You pay, you study for the 15 weeks, you study 4 units, and you get 2 units credited to any of the masters.
All right.
So
okay.
you don't lose those units, you don't lose your money, so you get a bit of advantage on this as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So all of our master's program are not executive. So the students does not need work experience to go to a master program. The only time that we ask for work experience is if the students does not have a bachelor and wants to do a master's. Then we ask for 5 years, minimum 5 years work experience, but we can talk about that later. So for the Bachelor of Business course, we do have stream for marketing, accounting, and international business. For the Bachelor of Information Technology, the students can go to software development or digital enterprise. For the Masters of IT, the students can choose cybersecurity, data science, software development, and user experience. So they can go to different segments of the IT field. The good thing about the Masters of Engineering Management and Masters of MBA, it's a double degree course. So the students will complete in 2 years. All the Masters is 2 years. And they will have pretty much 2 qualifications. They will study all the core units for the MBA and all the core units of Masters of Engineering. The only thing that we ask the student to have to have a bachelor or a cognate degree in engineering. So to be part of the MEM, a Master of Engineering Management MBA, the students need to be to have a Bachelor of Engineering or work experience as an engineer. So we do accept any official English tests, and this is IELTS equivalence to what's shown on the screen here. The graduate diploma business is a pathway to the MBA. So if the student achieve a 6, but not a 6.5 in IELTS, they can go to do 1 year of a graduate diploma. In the second year of MBA, it's a pathway to MBA. It's exactly the same units. It's just a lower English requirement. So, but yeah, all of those courses, the scholarship, the fees that you can see here is 25% reduced. So we'll reflect to around 24 grand for the masters or 22,000 for the bachelor, and the payments we're very flexible. We're very flexible as well with the deposits and with the payments. For whatever we can do to help international students, we'll do it. I guess you guys have any questions, or do we still have time?
Okay. João, if you can just go back quickly to the programs that you offer here in Perth.
Yeah.
Okay, so business and information technology, right? In summary.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, business, IT, and engineering management. So, okay. But the business part involves accounting as well, Bachelor of Business accounting major, or Bachelor of Business in marketing major, or there are different majors for those business and accounting. Yeah, if you guys go to the Southern Cross University website, you're probably going to see all courses in laws and pretty much medicine and all psychology. We at the moment we only focus on the courses that are quite popular for international students. Eventually, we'll bring more courses to Perth as well, and as we because our Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth campus are only dedicated to international students. So we try to make sure that all the courses are the ones that they are looking for.
Yeah.
And again, as I say, you know, it's a different environment. You're not going to be together with a class with 80 or 90 students. It's a small classes. There will be around 20 to 30 students maximum per class, and we'll probably have this more personalized experience with your lecture. So we'll help in your, you know, in your learning experience, if you like.
Fantastic, João. Thank you so much for sharing all this information with us. Just want to remind you guys that, you know, if you need some more information about a specific institution, we will be able to not only schedule a meeting with our team, but we can also engage the school representatives or someone from the universities to talk to you and make sure that your study plan is the best possible pathway for a successful career. Okay, so now I would like to invite Monica to come and tell us a little bit more about Sheridan. Monica, I think you're on mute at the moment.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me better?
Now I can hear you. Welcome, Monica.
Yes. To start out with, thank you so much, Australian Centre, for this opportunity. And lucky last, so Sheridan. And then I was looking at the participant list. At the moment, we have 21 students potentially. And Marcella, Camilla, Carolina, Andrea, Patania. Yeah, Raphael, Susan. There's a lot of students in here. Thank you so much. So I guess let's start with, let me share my screen. Bear with me. How does that work? Okay, so share screen, and then let's do this one. Share.
Did you get it? Okay, lovely.
You see it?
Ah, lots of flowers. That's beautiful.
Can you guys see my screen? That is the PowerPoint as well?
Yes, we can. Yeah. Yeah, and then if I put on presentation modes.
Yep, okay. What about now?
Yep, lovely.
Okay, now, but I know how to stop. Okay. So, let's start with, I guess, is who is Sheridan? I don't think any or many of you guys have heard about Sheridan because we are quite small in Perth, very young, 5 years operation. However, we are 25 years management that is building up Sheridan. So Sheridan is actually in Northbridge area, and we have 80 international students. And to be honest with you, we are very surprised that our students from Latin America, like Mexico, Brazil, doing very well in here at our Bachelor of Business or Graduate Diploma of Business Administration. So I guess let's start off today is what's so special about Sheridan and why you should consider about Sheridan. And the next thing is Sheridan is great for are you one of them that we are looking for? So let's start off today is, so what's so special about us and what are our secret scholarship? So basically at Sheridan, we really believe education can transform lives. Yeah. And we also believe that using our core commitment, we want to reduce financial barrier to quality and fully accredited higher education. So at Sheridan, we really believe that quality education is not for someone that, I can't go to because I have to break my bank or I have to have a lot of debt in order to get into good quality of education. Because at Sheridan, I think I am playing it. Yep, at Sheridan. Okay, so, yep. Thank you. All our courses, Bachelor of Business, Graduate Diploma of Business Administration, Master, all our courses, very simple, $12,320 every year. Not with any other fees. Yeah, that's all. Very simple. So for example, Bachelor of Business, you can work it out the number, 3 years of study times 3. That's all. So you will be asking, why is it so low? The fee is so affordable. Because all our fees that we got from students, we go back to teaching and we go back to administration cost. We have our research team, and then but we have alternative funding for that reason, for that part. So we are very careful with our resources. What matters to us is student. So that's why it is not for profit for us, and never has been and never will be. Very clear, and remember that. And because we are a not-for-profit higher education. Indeed, we have a vision in the future, if that is possible, that hopefully quality education will be for free one day. That is our mission, that is our goal. Because we believe that education, we can use it to transform lives. Oh, well, now that's the question. This is so affordable, the price. Does that mean that it is not good quality, or what am I learning over there? So have a look on our website. You will notice that all our lecturers are either professors, scholars, or famous researchers and PhD and publisher. For example, Dr. Natalie, 25 years of experience. I'm not very good at the Zoom thing, sorry. Yeah, I just want to pause it a little bit.
Let me just check something.
Yep. So, pause. Dr. Natalie, yeah, she's 25 years of experience working at ECU. Now is an academic dean at one of the institutes that would partner with us. And she is our academic coordinator at Sheridan. Next thing, Dr. Augusto, actually he is from Brazil. He completed his PhD at Murdoch University. He won 3 awards when he was lecturing at Murdoch. And now he is one of our lecturers that we are planning to building our specialization and bachelor in law discipline. So Dr. Paul, he worked with Cyril, the research, and also he is leading research pause it again. So he is also working at our MIT. So that's why he's constantly flying back and forth from Perth to Melbourne. And also he has a lab in South Africa that is researching in fluid flow engineering, and he's a professor. At the moment at Sheridan, he's lecturing Diploma of Science. Yeah. So next one, Dr. Gabriel. He is our lecturer of Bachelor of Business. He has over 100 publications, and he's a president of Marketing Business, World Marketing Business Development. We are very delighted and honored to have him lecturing our Bachelor of Business and Graduate Diploma of Business Administration. So these are some of our academic staff. So basically, also, in other words, they are the one that lecturing our students. And the good thing about Sheridan at Sheridan, you don't see a lecturer once a year. he's next to you. We share lunch area. We don't have a segregated student area or staff area. We are together. His office is right next to you. So if you have any question, we are right here to support. So that's Sheridan. So why should you consider choosing us? I guess it's throw back the question to you. Why are you here? Why are you listening to our higher education webinar? Because you are considering a professional career in Australia, is that right? So I know the majority of you already have a bachelor degree or back home, especially from Brazil and Mexico. So, but what about in Australia? Some of you guys would consider to go up to a master, which is excellent. Or some of you guys will be, I'm not yet there. What can I do? So perhaps you may be consider having a bachelor business. For example, the reason why you would like to consider to have a professional qualification, given the reason why is you having a bachelor, it is a minimum qualification in Australia that we consider to get a professional job. If you consider getting career professional job, you may start off thinking, you might want to have an Australian qualification. So anything below bachelor, in Australia, we call it paraprofessional. So it is called, for example, diploma, associate degree. So anything above bachelor, we call it professional qualification. Now, also, interestingly, statistics show 5 out of 10 Australian between the age of 25 and 29 have an Australian bachelor. Now, my question to you is, as an international student, if you want to stand out of the market, if you want to getting a career, you might want to consider start thinking a minimum getting an Australian bachelor, or if not above. But don't forget, Sheridan, even though we are not yet a university, doesn't mean that you cannot get a bachelor degree. So higher education is a good place to start off with as well. Next thing. So what's so special? I told you I'm not very good at it, isn't it? So what's so special about us? And we say it and we mean it. Every student is a story, not a number. We have a rule in here at Sheridan. We have to know students by name. We know them through and through. We are not for profit. When you get into here, we are here to support you from the beginning to the end. So for example, one of our students from Brazil, and her name is Gigi. She is studying Bachelor of Business with us. She has a degree in marketing and communication in back home in Brazil. And she is right now doing our second year of Bachelor very well. And she is having her small business, running a consulting company, social media. And at Sheridan as well, you can present your business proposal, business plans. If you have an idea running your own business, this is a great place to be, because every year you will do a research, and we have a team, and we may even have fun if your research proposal is aligned with our vision as well, and we will support it. So Serena, she is our student at Sheridan doing Bachelor of Business from Iran, and she was an airport greeter as well. So we have Nemo, and that is from Mexico. He was a bookkeeper working as a bookkeeper at, in Mexico, and right now as well. And he's doing our graduate diploma of business administration. So that's great. And of course, at Sheridan also, we have Master of Education. Yep. So basically at Sheridan, we have 100 students at the moment, 20 students, well, postgraduate students, they are postgraduate students. They are a high school teacher. So we offer Master of Education for those who want to become a deputy of principal and department head. So that's the student dynamic at Sheridan. So once again, all our courses is $12,320 every year for any courses. Yep. It is so affordable. You're one of them that we are looking for, because at Sheridan, we are committed academic excellence. Our qualification, any courses, you will start with a research from the year one. In other words, we'll push you to have a critical thinking skill, independent literature review, and also journal research article and all that will build you up. So you will stand out at the end, year 3, you will do handling a research project at the end. So that is how we are very academic driven. So we are not here about the large number of students to make money, because we are about the one student who has a great attitude and appetite and motivated to use education to transform life. And when we are looking to recruit students, we're looking for someone who willing to start and finish, and we can cheer them along. So that's why in our admissions, for example, we interview every single student. And that is the one who has a long-term goal will be a great fit at Sheridan. And we also believe that the best view comes after the hardest climb. So basically, it is a nutshell of Sheridan. And we are planning to roll out new courses every single year. So keep on your toes, watching, and you will be great. I will keep updated. But what's next to go from here? Next thing is we are soon to have an open day, for example. You're welcome to sign up with Australian Centre to ask them about more information. And then to join this day, you will have a taste of a free lecture. How does it like with a higher education? How is it different transitioning from vet sector, for example, a lot of you guys, or how is it that coming from your own background, that non-English, and how does that fit into your English academic driven environment to pursue a professional degree, what it is like. So this will be a great place for you to start off with. So 17th of July, 10:30 to 1:30 at Sheridan. You can enroll through Australian Centre and we will see you there. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Monica. And again, I'd like to encourage you guys, if you have any question, please use the Q&A section here on Zoom, and we will promptly answer, okay? I personally have a couple of questions for you guys. So let me start with Caroline. And Caroline, do you know roughly what would be a starting salary for an engineering in Western Australia? Do you have an idea about those figures, or?
You put me on the spot again.
Yes.
But I think the last time we got those stats together, I think from Engineers Australia website, it was about $65,000 for someone starting out per year, but obviously it goes up depending on experience. So it's probably the ballpark.
Yeah, but it's certainly a very good career in Australia. There is in many parts of Australia, you know, a lack of a shortage of engineers. So yeah, engineering
and
is definitely a very good career to pursue.
On that point as well, I think also if students are looking really seriously into the automation side, the job prospects around industrial automation engineering is just massive. And especially here in Australia, there's mines are investing a lot of money on trying to automate things much more. So I think we're going to see that around the world much more. So a great field to be getting into.
Right. Okay. Fantastic. And João, I've got one for you. With the like your different campuses, what's the policy of the university if students want to move from Perth to Linsmore or to Sydney? How do you guys manage a situation like that?
Handle that, yeah. It's one of the advantages that the students won't disrupt the academics. They you know, as long as they look, we only ask the students to commence at the campus that they applied. Let's say if they do put an application for Perth, they do the first term, which is the first session in Perth, and then they can freely move to any of the other 5 campuses.
Right. Okay.
So it's yeah, we don't have a restriction, and the course structure, they are the same for all campuses. So this is a good advantage. Students can move, and then this you're going to be able to continue studying according to the study plan.
All right. And Caroline, does it apply to you guys as well? Students can move from Melbourne to Perth and vice versa? Oh, yes. From yeah.
Correct, but we only offer the master degrees in Melbourne and Perth, so bachelor degrees only in Perth, but students can definitely move between the two.
All right. Okay. Great. Fantastic. Let me check if we have some questions coming up here. Wait a second.
So in the meantime, I have a question also for Caroline. Caroline, about the master program degree in engineering that is recognized by Engineers Australia. Do the students need to do an application, or they will be automatically get the recognition by Engineers Australia?
Yep, so it's a little bit more complicated because I'm not a guru on the, I guess, permanent residency side of things relating to Engineers Australia, but we've gone through the accreditation process with Engineers Australia for 2 of our masters so far. So we've got our Industrial Automation Masters and Electrical Masters recognised under the Washington Accord. You will find the majority of universities do not have Engineers Australia accreditation for their master degrees. So we've still got 2 of our other masters going through the process with Engineers Australia right now. It doesn't stop a student from applying with Engineers Australia to get their skills assessment. I do believe if a student will eventually apply for their permanent residency, they still all have to go through Engineers Australia with an application. So yeah, I hope that sort of answered your question.
Yeah,
and
no problem.
And do you require a bachelor in engineering to be able to be accepted in your master's program?
Yes. So unless they've come from like a lot of industry experience. So for example, if a student did maybe a general bachelor's of science back in Brazil, and then they did 5 years of work experience in civil engineering, that would be an example of a perfect candidate to enter into our Masters of Civil Structural. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Fantastic. And Monica, you have mentioned that you have one program that only you in this presentation has, which is a Master of Education, right?
That's right.
And tell us a little bit more about that program and what are the career outcomes?
Yeah, so basically, thank you so much, Mimi. So Master of Education is for someone who would like to become a school principal or department deputy. So a lot of students currently right now enrolled is domestic high school teacher. So, but we do receive international students, but they are already principal or like a teacher in the UK, Canada, and and the United States as well. So that is more quite different from what international students looking for. That is master of teaching, and that master of teaching is 2 years and becoming a teacher. That we are planning in that direction.
All right, so it's not a master to be able to become a teacher in Australia. It's more like to be at a management position. Yeah, okay, fair enough. All right, guys. So Adolfo, I have one for you then, and probably that will wrap up our presentation for today. So if someone is interested about, you know, talking to Monica, to João, or to
we
Caroline,
do have a question now.
What would be the next step for anyone that is interested in pursuing one of those scholarships that we have presented here today?
I think it's definitely enter in contact with our team. We're gonna study the application. We're gonna check their CVs, and sometimes there is some scholarships that are actually many students, they are able to apply for those scholarships that actually have a higher percentage of deduction on the fees. So that's why it's very important to have the translation of the documents and present this to the universities to evaluate which scholarship they can apply.
All right. Okay, fantastic. And I guess we do have one more question here. Let me just double check.
Yeah, is that all right if I jump in? I think
Sure,
Marta has got a question about if they have completed a bachelor degree from a public university, would it be valid to enter into our masters? It'll totally depend on what field of engineering you studied, and what our admission team does is we'll check on the Australian government equivalency website just to make sure that it is equivalent to an Australian bachelor degree. So Marta, if you send that information through to Australian Centre, I can get back to you tomorrow on that. So feel free to reach out.
And Marta, are you from Brazil? Let me check here. I will just have to, oh, sorry guys. I'm having an issue with my, let me try to stop sharing so that I can get Marta's answer about that. Then I can be more specific about what she's asking. Wait a second. Let me check. Yeah, so yeah, if Marta, if you want to just comment about your previous studies, where are you from? You can write here on the chat or in the Q&A section. Let me check if I've got it. She's from Mexico. And we are from which university you graduated? And if you can just confirm whether there was a bachelor degree as well. Okay, I guess Adolfo will probably be familiar with this university, right, Adolfo?
Yeah, definitely. It's the top university in Mexico.
Yeah.
The last rankings was on the 100th place.
Okay, great. Well, fantastic. So yeah, the trick thing about that is that what we have realized, Marta, is that obviously to get good grades in a top university is way harder to get good grades in an average university. Okay, so that might have some implication on you getting the scholarships, you know, unless you're being a good student anyway. So, but we can also try to explain the situation to the university where you're going to be applying for your scholarship, and then, you know, we can state, you know, that this is a top university. It's very strict, and perhaps we can be successful in getting a good scholarship for you. Okay, I think this is just a quick example of what we do here at AC. And we will be very delighted to help all of you to accomplish your goals here in Australia. So please feel free to contact us, and we will be more than happy to maybe take you guys to a visit at any one of those institutions, at Southern Cross, Sheridan, or the Engineers Institute of Technology. So I would like to take advantage to thank you so much for participating of our trilogy on university scholarships in Perth. Stay tuned, we might have some other events coming up, and we are looking forward to seeing you here at our offices or via video conferencing. We will be super happy to help you with your applications, okay? So with that, I will say goodbye. Thank you so much, Monica. Thank you so much, Caroline. And obrigado, João. It was a pleasure to have you guys here. Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, Vinny. Thanks, everyone.
Have a good evening. See you.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye, guys. Thanks.